objective. But when you say the calculations, nor responsive only to exigent domestic political pressure. As I see it, it is a foreign policy based only in satisfying politically expedient concerns of us in our international standing and makes us lose and will not make us lose our moral compass. It is the Filipinos' collective heritage to defend and uphold these universal values that we have institutionalized in our laws and principles. I want to emphasize they have to be institutionalized in our laws, in our policies. We have many rules, even a corporation, even in this school will have plenty of rules. But unless those rules are institutionalized, they mean nothing. And those rules will mean nothing if they are not based on the core values of professors, of students, of administrators. It is why I cannot overemphasize the value of core values that spell out rules and laws that must be institutionalized. They must be written in our flesh so that it dwells in us. And that is how RIZAL did it. It has materialized in his flesh. It has dwelt in him, and he died for it. I'm not asking we should die for him, but we should be very serious about rules. Let me now go to some principles of organization and administration. Many of your officials here are also officials elsewhere, probably government or other universities or in other bureaus. In that sense, they are all public servants. What a beautiful phrase, to be called a public servant, to serve the public. Except, ang nangyayari, pag-campaign, pag-elections, yes, we are your servant, says the politico, but once he is elected, he creates a film, he creates something on the surface that makes him distantiated, and therefore, the public is no longer public. The public is no longer the public we will serve, but it is the civil servant who must serve them. That is why I like the British. You know, in England, in every office in England, you will see in any office there a phrase, "It DM, I serve." Did you notice English letters? If you still receive them, they continue to write letters. It always ends with, "I have the honor to remain your most obedient and most faithful servant." And then sign the Prime Minister of England, of Great Britain, who will conclude these letters, "I have the honor to remain your most obedient and most faithful servant." Signed the Prime Minister of Great Britain. The idea of ATM, they are always serving the people. Our own president used to say that, "Kayo ang boss, ako nasusunod. That was during the election campaign. The question now is, are we still boss? Are we still, iba na ba yung servant? We have to go back to that basic principle, public servant. Ano yung sabihin na? Custodian of the public trust. Oh my God! To use that phrase, custodian, nag-aalaga, in custody of public trust. Which means, once the trust disappears, the office vanishes. You have to remove yourself. Hindi dinadaan ito sa, idemanda mo ako, magkita tayo sa korte, no? And then, he will hang on to his office until dying day. No. The moment trust is no longer there, the thin line that holds the public office is the public trust. If the trust vanishes, you have to step down. Of course, hindi ginagawa ng mga public officials. Ang Prime Minister, ganon. Alam niyo, in the parliamentary system style, if there is even a hint of a scandal, hindi nasa korte ha, it is the whisper, what I call the susurration. The susurration, the whisper of a scandal, the Prime Minister will tender his resignation. Hindi ito, patunayan sa korte, sue me in court, and I will say, no. He immediately drives to Her Majesty the Queen, whom I had the grace of meeting twice as a UNESCO fellow in Sterling,